Guys, I went on a date this week and I felt the feminism leaving my body.
You know, it's kind of funny in this day and age when we hear so much about feminism and how women want to be leaders and everything that goes along with that. And some of those women might even think consciously or intellectually that they really don't want a man who's a leader. They don't want a man who's masculine and does masculine things. But oftentimes when they come across a man like that, their instincts just naturally kick in and they can't help but be attracted to a man like that. And the other day I was talking to one of my members on my website, which is at soa.fm, by the way. And I was trying to explain to him that even these feminists who say they don't want that in a man, deep down actually do want that in a man. Because all of the stuff that I teach are just things that are natural. It's part of our biology and psychology. And just because several decades ago, some women got together and decided that they were going to change that doesn't mean it's going to change our biology. In fact, evolution is far from catching up with modern society. And all of this is really just evolutionary. And I'm going to play a couple of videos for you so you can see an example of what these women really want in a man.
Guys, I went on a date this week and I felt the feminism leaving my body. I live on the east side of LA, and if you don't know what that means, it's sort of like the artsier part of LA, you know? It's people say it's like Brooklyn and New York. So I go on dates with a lot of men and women who, live over here. There's always a negotiation about who pays, and that's great. I like to pay for people, all that. But what I will say is that I sort of fell into going on a date with the most guy's guy I've ever been on a date with. And he's from West, Santa Monica. He's a bro, right? A guy's guy is usually not my type. I cannot remember the last time that I went on a date with a straight bro, you know what I'm saying? But it befell me. It befell me in an organic fashion. So I'm on this date with this guy, and the thing about a guy's guy is he's putting his card down. He's paying for everything. And I really it sort of activated something feral in me. I'm not gonna lie. We went to another bar, and he was gonna go to the bathroom. So I was getting prepared to pay for our drinks because he's been paying all night. Of course I'm gonna pay for the next round. But as he's going to leave for the bathroom, he turns to me and he hands me his credit card. And he goes, "Here's my card. Get us whatever." It might be time for me to get away from all these, liberal snowflakes on the east side.
I thought that video was kind of cute, especially note how she keeps biting her finger, which is a sign of being a little turned on by this idea. And I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, well, it's just because of the money that he was paying for, but that's really not the point. The point is that she was in the presence of a masculine man, maybe for the first time in her life, and she couldn't help but feel excitement and attraction for this guy. So yes, the money thing was probably part of it, but like I tried to explain to a lot of men, that women are always going to be attracted to a man with resources. It isn't so much the money, because money is kind of new in the timeline of humanity, but women are always going to be attracted to a man that has resources, a man that could provide for her and protect her and make sure that he can ensure her survival in a better life. It doesn't make them gold diggers just because they want that in a man. I mean, like I was just saying, it's part of our makeup. We're hardwired for this, and women are hardwired to go for men that have resources, because up until really recently, a woman couldn't survive without a man who was providing for her. And also, like I just said, it's part of their instinct. They can't help it. Now, obviously, there are some gold diggers out there that will take advantage of a situation like this. But part of the reason that gold diggers exist is because there's guys out there who flash around their money, and that's their only game in terms of attracting women. They have to flash around their money so they can attract women, because they have nothing else. And believe it or not, women actually understand this on some level. They know the guy has nothing else, so they take advantage of the fact that he has money. And this is why you guys don't want to use money to attract women, because the type of women that you're going to attract are the gold diggers. But there's nothing wrong with providing for a woman as long as she's giving you something in return, of course. And I don't mean just sex. I just mean a woman that is supportive and shows you love and affection and will be there for you. She's loyal. What it really is, why this girl is so excited, is because, like I said, she's probably have never been in the presence of a true masculine man ever in her life. Maybe her father wasn't around. Maybe she never knew her father. And in the social circle that she hangs out with, it's mainly artists. And there's nothing against artists. I'm an artist by nature myself, but they tend not to be very masculine type of men. But of course, like I said, that's not all artists. I have known plenty of artists who are quite masculine. But I think in this next video, this woman is going to help you understand that it's not just about money.
Yes, I'm going to say it. Most women want masculine men. I can't speak for everybody, okay? Most women want a man who's a provider. Most women want to feel safe with a man. If a woman's anything like me, they're tired of being strong all the time. They want a man that they can depend upon. A man who's independent. A man who leaves his life well. A man who's strong. A man who's courageous. A man she can trust. Y'all, I'm indecisive. I want a man personally who can make decisions for me. Most women want a man who is not as emotional as they are. Most women want a man who's stable. Most women want a man who's strong-minded. Most women want a man who's assertive. Most women want a man who is dominant. Most women want a man who is wise. I think when it all comes down to it, a lot of women are afraid of this kind of man. Maybe they've been hurt by this kind of guy. Maybe they've seen somebody else get hurt by this kind of guy and therefore prefer men to have more feminine traits. And that's okay.
So you notice that she went beyond just being provided for. She wants a man who's a leader, a man that's assertive, a man that's going to help make her decisions or make her decisions for her. And a lot of us have been so programmed by society or a feminist society that we think that, oh my God, I could never make a decision for a woman. But the truth is, oftentimes they want you to do that. I mean, think about those times when you are taking a girl out to dinner, as an example, and you can't decide on where to go. So you're asking her, well, where do you want to go? What do you want to eat? And she's saying, well, I don't know. Really, what she's saying right there is make the decision for me. Because women don't want to be responsible for making the wrong decisions. But basically what it all boils down to is the fact that women want a masculine man, a man that's going to take charge and give her a great life, a man that's going to lead her in the right direction, lead them both in the right direction. And when it comes down to having children with a woman, she wants to know that she can trust you, trust your leadership. She wants to know that her and her children, of course, your children too, but her and her children are going to survive, that they're not going to fall on any major hardships, that the man in her life is going to be able to protect her, protect the family, and make sure that they don't go without. Now, a lot of you guys get really upset that women want a man that can provide for them or a man with money. But the truth is, they really don't think about these sort of things until they start thinking about you in terms of a long-term relationship or a marriage or having a family or something along those lines. There have been times when I've been pretty broke in my life and I've still gotten girls. It's not completely about the money. Like I said, they want, or like she said, they want a man that's going to take charge and lead the family and lead her. Now, you might be thinking that, well, Coach, you've been saying that we shouldn't listen to what women say that they want in a man. And that's true in most cases, because in most cases, they're going to be telling you some vanilla society approved BS about, the things that they want in a man. They rarely talk about what turns them on and what makes them happy long term. But I think in these videos, you're really getting an honest look or an honest moment from women and what they want in a man and what excites them, what turns them on. Because you see so much on YouTube and other social media about these women saying how they want a man that's over 6 feet tall, makes over six figures, has six-pack abs and whatnot. But what it really boils down to, the nitty-gritty, is that they want this. They want a man that's going to ensure their survival and give them a better life. So the next time, before getting angry about what women want in a man, think about this. Because like I said, deep down, this is what they're going for. This is what they're hardwired for. And it doesn't matter what society says, because our evolution hasn't caught up with that modern society. But I think the next girl really knocks it out of the park.
I want to hear what women want.
We want a man who acts like a man, who's manly, who takes care of things.
Leader.
I don't need you to kill an alligator with your hands, but I need to feel so feminine around you because you are so masculine that I can turn my brain off because I know you've got it. Yeah. I trust you. I trust your intellect. I trust your character. I trust that I can close my eyes and follow you blindly, and I'm going to be happy about where I end up. You tell me where we're going, and we're all set. We live in a time of new age feminism and this whole idea that women and men need to be the same and they need to compete, and it's all from the enemy. It's all lies.
Yeah, there you go. That's another example of what women truly want deep down. And it's a very honest moment from a woman who's not looking to her peers and scoring points with other feminists. And note where she said that she wants to be able to feel so feminine where she could just turn her brain off and let you take the lead. I mean, we all want feminine women, right? But women become the most feminine, not when they're surrounded by other feminine women, but when they're in the presence of a truly masculine man, a competent leader. And when they could trust your masculine leadership, this is what happens. A woman submits into her feminine and lets you take the lead. Now, I hear a lot from guys that I just want my woman to be submissive. Well, you have to command that from her. And you do that by demonstrating your competence and your leadership and your masculinity. You can't sit back and say, well, I'll become masculine when she submits and becomes feminine. No, it doesn't work that way. Because if you're acting too feminine, you have too much feminine energy, and she's sensing that, naturally, she's going to go into her masculine, and then she's going to be the one that starts taking charge, that starts being assertive, and starts taking the lead. And nowadays, so many men are either afraid of being a leader or they don't know how to be a leader. And the way to become a leader is to start taking charge of your own life first. And that takes discipline. I mean, we all know that it's not easy being a man. There's lots of work. There's lots of discipline that goes along with all that work. And just when we think that we have completed something, something else comes along and makes it even more difficult. But that's just life. It's not you. It's not women. It's not feminism. It's just life throwing curveballs at you. And that's going to happen to everybody, no matter how great you are or how tough you've had it or how great you've had it. Yes, of course, some people have had more privilege in their life. But the truth is, we all have it tough. Some tougher than others, but we've all had it tough. So really what this all boils down to is you have to understand that women want masculine men in their life, despite what society keeps telling you about this toxic masculinity or whatever. They want strong, competent leaders to lead them, men that they could actually submit to comfortably. And by comfortably, I mean men that they could trust their leadership. So if you don't really know where to start, I usually tell men to start in these areas. Number one, start pursuing your goals and your hobbies. Number two, start pursuing your health and fitness, body, mind, and spirit. It's not just about hitting the gym. And finally, you want to work on building and maintaining your social circle. And it's not just about following some list I just rattled off. It's about being disciplined enough to stick to it. And that's where it really gets hard. I mean, think about every January and the gyms are just packed with people because they got gym memberships for Christmas or something like that. But by February, it completely drops off because those people were all gung-ho initially. But when they realized that this is a lot of work, they just kind of gave up. And that is because they don't have any discipline. Now, one of the things that kind of helps me through when I feel like, oh, God, I can't continue doing this. I hate doing this. There was a quote from Andrew Tate, and I don't remember verbatim, but it has always stuck with me. Anytime I start feeling like I want to give up, I kind of repeat this to myself. And one of the things he was talking about was, he said, hey, do you think I want to get up every morning and train? Do you think I want to work out every single day? And he was like, no, I hate doing that all the time. But I have discipline and I stick to it and I do it every day, regardless of how I feel that day. Yes, inspiration helps, but inspiration is not always going to be there. I think it was Henry Rollins that said something about, like, if you run every day, the hardest part is getting your ass off the couch and putting on your shoes to get out there. And that's true. You have to make the decision to do it, and then you just have to do it. And by doing all this, not only are you going to feel better about yourself, you're going to feel more confident, you're going to feel happier about yourself, your self-esteem and self-worth are going to grow. And because of all that, not only are you doing all the steps that it takes to be a masculine man, but a lot of it's just going to come naturally, because this confidence is coming naturally from doing these things, from being disciplined and sticking with it regardless of how you feel that day. So this is what women want. They want a masculine man, a masculine leader that's going to be assertive and decisive and lead her in the right direction. And when she trusts your leadership, that is when she's going to start to submit. You can't just tell a woman, hey, I demand that you submit to me, because they can't. They can't do it just because you tell them to. You have to show them that you can be that leader. I mean, this is why girls test, because they know men could fake this stuff. So they test to make sure that you're actually the guy who you say you are. So if you tell a woman, hey, I'm a leader, she's going to test that. If you tell a woman, hey, I'm a really confident guy, she's going to test that. And those tests come out of the clear blue sky, like you don't even see them coming. And the reason that they do that is because that's the only way that they can get authenticity from you. And before you get angry about that stuff, I've talked about in my videos before, 95% of the time, women don't even realize that they're testing you. This is something built in. It's part of their instinct. The other 5%, yeah, they're consciously thinking of it and maybe even playing some games. But most of the time, it's just something that comes out, because we have, as men, we have trained women over the thousands of years that humanity has been in existence that we could fake this just to get into her pants. And they know this on an instinctive level. Yes, you could get by and just doing the bare minimum enough to get by, but those are the guys that don't really have the confidence and don't have fulfilling relationships and don't have a wife or girlfriend that truly is attracted to them. So as much as you don't want to hear it, you do have to do the work if you want to get anywhere with women and with yourself in general, with life. Otherwise, you're just going to feel a wasted life. So if you guys have found this video helpful, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if you guys need further coaching, one-on-one coaching, you could find that by heading over to my website at Skill of Attraction, and that is found at SOA.fm. SOA for Skill of Attraction, and FM because it's fucking magic. And if you have quick, short questions or just want to be part of the community, you could sign up for free at my website at SOA.fm and start asking questions and just be part of the community. So that's it for this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.